Hi, I'm Dave from boyinaband.com, and welcome to day 3 of my 7-day song tutorial on drum and bass. Yesterday we made 2 synth patches, a powerful Reese-based synth and a speaker-shaking sub-bass. In day 3 we'll be making a sweet lead synth to go over our beat and make the drop even catchier. Okay, let's begin. I'll just show you what we've got so far. Cool. But yeah, we're going to make something even more interesting over the top of this. So let's stop for a second and right click and create a combinator. Name it lead. Remember, always name your combinators so you can see them in the mixer up here. And inside, right click and create a line 6-2 mixer and a Thor polysonic synthesizer. Initialize Thor, and inside it, show programmer, give it 3 multi-oscillators in a 3-octave spread. So let's take this one up an octave and this one down an octave. I'll just add some notes in now so we can hear how the synth evolves. Okay, so we've got our notes here, and I'll just send oscillators 2 and 3 through, and let's have a listen. That's a cool starting point. So adds another catchy line to it. Now, take the highest multi-oscillator onto the pulse wave setting so the synth is more prominent, and then detune them all a bit so we can thicken the sound. I'll just solo out the lead and play it as I do this so we can hear the difference. So if I put it back onto saw wave and play this. Now if I change that to pulse wave, you can hear that's a bit more prominent now, and if I detune them all a little bit, yeah, that thickens it up nicely. Remove the filter so the sound has lots of high end. Yeah, turn on the chorus to thicken it a bit more. Take the sustain up to full in the amp envelope so it doesn't lose any volume over time, and turn on the portamento so it slides between the notes. Okay, now we've got the basic part of this synth, and it sounds like a decent lead, but I wanted to have more of an edge. To do that, I'm going to separate the signal into 2 parts, one with this clean sound, and another I'll add distortion to. Then I'll use the line 6-2 mixer to mix them together into a single tone. So, right click and create a Spider Audio Merger and Splitter. I'll just pause this for a second. Take Thor, press tab to look at the back, into the splitter. Remember the one on the right is the splitter, and stereo input there. And then take one output into the mixer, and that's your clean channel there. Okay, right click, create, hold shift, screen 4 distortion unit, and shift just makes sure it doesn't connect to anything. Now if we send the output into the input of screen 4, and then from screen 4 into the line mixer into another channel, then we've got control over both the clean channel and the distorted. Okay, so I'm going to solo the distorted channel so we can have a listen to what it sounds like. Take your pick of distortions to add to your tone. Remember, since this is going to be added into the clean tone, you can go a bit more mental with your distortion if you want, while still maintaining a note from the clean tone. I'm going to select modulate though, and taking the ring to about halfway, and the frequency to about 3/4. I can take up that damage control. Modulate just gives a weirder, more synthy sound than the conventional distortions. I'll cut the cut and body sections and just leave it like that. Now, if we have a listen to both of them together, you can hear that edge to it now. So if I mute the distortion, that's the clean tone, and with it, yeah, definitely worth doing. Okay, now at this point I'm going to add, right click on the mixer, create DDL1 digital delay line. I'm going to turn it up to 4 steps, make sure it's on 1/16 step length, and turn up the clean channel auxiliary to about half. And that just gives it that big, wide feeling. And I've only used the clean tone there, and it makes it less messy. If the distorted tone was going through as well, it would get quite messy quite quickly. Now, I'm going to shift create a M-class equalizer and take this up above the line 62 mixer, but to move it, just click on the side of it here. Now if we pause this for a second and I look at the back, and we'll do some routing. Now if we send the mixer into the equalizer, and from the equalizer into the input of the combinator, we can get to work. This is going to help us pick out the best parts of the tone to emphasize. Some people say not to boost frequencies too much, but so long as you reduce the overall volume enough to compensate for the gain added by the equalizer, or flatten out the level with a compressor or maximizer, there shouldn't be a problem. In fact, the compression can add to the tone. I'm going to remove the low end entirely, so let's have a listen to what this does, so that it won't mess with the bass at all. And I'm going to boost around the 1 kHz mark with around 1. So if we take that up a little bit, shift to get better control, and widen it a bit with the bandwidth there, the Q. That just makes it a bit warmer. Then I'm also going to boost around the 5 to 6 kHz mark as well. Yeah, somewhere around there. Just to give the high end of the lead a bit more prominence, and I'm also going to turn up the gain of the high end a little bit, just to make it brighter. Not too much though. Okay, next I'm going to route it into Create Stereo Imager. If you look at the back, it's automatically routed, so if we drag this to the top, it's nicely ordered. And what I'm going to do here is, if I solo the high band and widen it, if you hear the difference, it just pans it left and right even more, so it sounds bigger and wider in the mix. Now incidentally, if you ever want to do a quick high pass or low pass cut, stereo images can be used for this if you use the solo high band or solo low band buttons. Okay, so if I turn this back to normal, we can have a listen to the whole tone there. Maybe take this down a bit more and tighten up the low end by making it a bit more mono. Okay, finally I'll add a compressor. Right click, create compressor, move that to the top, and take the threshold and the ratio just to completely flatten it out. Now remember, if you want a lot of dynamic range between loud and quiet from the tone of your synth, don't use too much compression. I just like having a flat response for a lot of my synths, that's why I do this. Now, there's the synth. Let's have a listen to it in the context of the track. Yeah, it's pretty loud, so let's take it down. Yeah, it's sounding nice and cool. I'll just do one thing before I go. I want the last note here, this note, to pitch bend up into the semitone above, so that the melody really feels like it wants to resolve. Resolving is the point in a melody when you feel like it's hit the note that it's supposed to hit. Now, to do this, right click on the pitch bend and click Edit Automation. Now, if you look here in the sequencer window, you see the pitch bend track lane has appeared. So if we use the pencil tool to draw a section over where we want to pitch bend, and there we go. If you have a listen to this now, you see it moving the pitch bend wheel there? Just show you that again. Automated. Sweet. And there you have it. A seriously cool lead synth for your drum and bass. If you can find the time between fighting your way through the waves of chicks that will surely be all up-ons as a result of how cool your drum and bass is, join me tomorrow where I'll be showing you how to make some sweet pads and a beat for a more chilled verse that will build into our intense chorus. See you tomorrow! If you found this tutorial useful, help me out by rating this video or posting a comment so other people can find it. And don't forget to check out my website, boyinaband.com.
Have a nice day.